when that bull broke my face, my skull fractured. And it fractured from here to almost my brainstem. The bronc and the bull riding came on at a very, very young age. Heck, I don't think I was 5 foot yet. And didn't weigh a buck. So they put me on these calves, and I was riding those feeder calves there that day, and I said, man, this is it. So I was probably 15 years old, and I got in the bucking horse riding and the bareback riding. And I'm a little bitty dude, and this was a junior rodeo, but they didn't have enough stock. So they brought out a brood mare out of a barn. I put my bareback rigging on her and rode this bucking horse, you know, down this indoor arena. So I was hooked, bad hooked. I had bought an old junk bronc saddle, and it clicked immediately. It all just clicked, the saddle bronc riding. In 1984, I won the National Military Finals World Championship in the saddle bronc riding. And then it took until 2017 to win a second world title. And I was 54 years old, if you do the math now. In 2001, we were right here at home. I just flew back home from Detroit from a PBR up there, and there was a 1,500 added bull riding at the Butler County Fair. When I got there, the man that owned the bull, his name was Dean Bicknell, and he said, Russ, don't get on this thing. He said, he's really, really bad. Whistle blew, and the bull was turning back, he was spinning. And whistle blew, and I reached down, and I pulled the tail out of my hand, and I looked, you know, I was gonna roll off his hip, just like I had done thousands of times. And when I left, somehow the rowel on my spur hung in the top of the rope for that long. I went underneath that bull, and he stepped on my face. In that accident, my face was as flat as that board. My nose was shoved in. The only thing that was sticking out was like a little button. You know, I couldn't breathe, I'm mouth breathing. My lip was hanging off over here. Knocked out, I think, 6 or 7 teeth. It had shattered my eye sockets, and this eye came out. My skull fractured, and it fractured from here to almost my brainstem. Well, they ended up, I had 7 operations, a bridge in my nose, cheekbones, a maxillofacial plate in the front. It about tore the palate out of the top of my mouth, and God obviously had a plan. He kept me alive for some reason. Fox Hollow Rodeo started over 20 years ago over there in Waynesville, and I was riding at the time. I was actively competing riding bulls. I asked him if I could announce a rodeo. Well, here we are.
Are you ready to rumble? Well, just like every Saturday night, we started off with the kids sheep riding and
I like the idea that, you know, I am still so involved in a sport that I love so much. You know, this is all I've known. Horses and rodeo, that's what I know.
We're going after bucket chute number 1. They're climbing aboard right now. We gotta be louder than that, come on!
I'd always liked to sing. My mother, she had a really pretty voice, and I can remember being a little kid and her singing, and I always did. I liked to sing. In fact, I was in show choir in high school.
Here we go!
David and I have this thing, you know, he'll ask me, so are you ready to sing? And I'll sing just a few lines, and everybody likes it, and it adds a little bit more fun to what we do, and it makes my job very enjoyable.
Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, oh what a thrill.
Fox Hollow Ranch and Rodeo is it's very family oriented, very patriotic there, very patriotic. You know, we live in this country where so many people, they take it for granted. We have a big introduction there, and for, you know, major holidays, you know, we'll do something like, you know, Veterans Day. Fox Hollow is also very, very Christian orientated.
How many people love Jesus?
When I gave my life to Christ, you know, I wasn't afraid to tell anybody, you know, and I'm not afraid to tell those people over there how easy it is to do. So, you know, it's a very, very big, important part, and God is a huge part of my life. I'm 60. Same clothes, same uniform every day. This is me. This is me.